The Grinnell Listening Project is a dialogue series, a project focused around meaningful conversation.
We want to create this safe environment where polarizing point of views can coexist.
Dialogue can take place in lots of forms, and it can be both formal and informal. And really what we're trying to do again is provide a structured, scaffolded space where different people can come together and have a conversation.
As the Grinnell Listening Project, we hold both campus events and community events, or dialogues. And so on November 16th, we had our first community dialogue entitled Building Bridges Through Listening. And our goal of that event was to launch our dialogue series to the community as a whole.
I just had a recent dialogue training, and what happens is there's one facilitator who just asks us multiple questions. What we do is Ryan is he moderates it mainly, and Seja and I help him out.
The mission of the dialogue event is really important, and especially not just in Grinnell, but in America as a whole. I think there's a divide, and so I think things that we can do to bridge the gap are really important.
If we can't work together, we're never going to be able to accomplish things, because we can't do things on our own, and so that means we're going to have to be able to work with people that are different than us, because ultimately there is no one that's the same as us, because then we'd be groups of one.
Talking with community members, it becomes very clear that there's almost just this unspoken divide between the college and the community, and no one really knows why there's this separation. And yes, you can point to more concrete items, but it's not completely clear.
As someone in the college, I kind of felt like there was a gap between the college and the community, but also I'm new here, so I felt like there's probably things that are going on that I just don't know about, but people in the community feel like the college is in a bubble too, and I think that was a different point of view that I hadn't considered.
I think that it's a relationship that requires maintenance and care, and equality, and genuine empathy.
We have a predominantly white, middle to low income town with a private college that is relatively racially and socioeconomically diverse.
I'm not really sure if there's such a thing as an average community member. I would say just residents, right? And people who live here, work here, go to school here, have families here, die here.
It makes sense that there would be that strained relationship, but I think the goal of this dialogue series is to name it.
We were able to create a space where we both could see the challenges that exist, that this isn't just because we come together, all of a sudden we'll easily talk to each other and all of our problems will be solved. We saw that this will be challenging, this will be hard.
And I think folks who are comfortable in their privilege oftentimes don't want to have those conversations and don't want to talk about things that make it known that a colorblind perspective of society isn't necessarily relevant, apparent, or true, and certainly isn't one to lean into.
We offered something that hadn't been offered in the community before, at least not recently, and it was a valuable experience for all who participated. The students who were facilitating formally for their first time got hands-on experience with facilitation, and having now spoken with some of the participants afterwards, I know that there's support for the project going forward.
This is the first step into a direction that we don't really know, right? There's going to be constant adjustment, and the direction and the narrative of those events will shape and evolve kind of in front of us. And honestly, I think that's really the most attractive thing about it. And I think that that's one of the parts too where I think for the people that went, it seemed to really resonate with them.
While change will not be achieved by just talking dialogue provides a foundation to then gear folks into avenues of action.